I said it before, and I'll say it again, that the only thing that matters is that you get the poke. And they're willing to offer you whatever it takes, whether it's gas. I think they were offering some tickets to baseball games. If you like the Jets, if you like the Yankees, if you like the Mets, we'll get you some tickets, right? We'll get you some beer. Everybody that comes down, hey, we'll get you a case of beer. We'll get you a mug of beer. Some states they were like, we'll give you $100. How about $100 coupon? Some places were like, well, we'll raffle off a Tesla, raffle off, or we will raffle off a Tesla vehicle. And it's because for the most part, they dangle, the whole thing of, well, you'll be able to go outside, you'll be able to do this, you'll be able to do that. We won't be able to go back to X, Y, and Z. Maybe you won't have to wear these things anymore, right? And for the most part, they realize that people just don't care. Many Americans have given up most of their freedom, but the last freedom that many Americans haven't give up is their bodily autonomy, their ability to state what comes in and out of their body. And this is basically the last stand for many Americans who realize, I'm not going to take this. I'm young, I'm fit, I'm healthy. And if these individuals really cared about your health from a nursing perspective, they would be out here every day telling you to lose weight, make sure you're in the gym, eat healthy. You would see, just as you see the same amount of propaganda for the poke, there would be the exact same amount for fitness, for getting health, making sure you get to the gym. They'd offer you money. We're gonna offer incentives to get these people into the gym so that they can be fit and strong. But that's not the result. They don't want you fit, and they don't want you strong. They want you weak, and they want you dependent. That's the reality, and they're willing to pay for it. And what this man is about to say illustrates that very fact, that even the money that you use, that you work for, is worthless. What they really want is they want your obedience. They want your freedom. They want to be able to say, have jurisdiction in essence over you completely in every way, shape, or form. And they're trying to break people down, even to the point where people just think it's all about the cough. It has nothing to do with the cough. It has to do with you. You are the prize. You have to understand that you are the prize. What you have to offer as a human being, your faithfulness, your faith, your love, and the hope that you have is what they want. And they're trying to do everything to break that. And of course, it doesn't feel that way. They appeal to you by compassion. They talk about you about, don't get grandma sick. Cuomo is always on TV talking about how he's going to get grandma sick. And meanwhile, during the height, he was inviting his grandma over for Thanksgiving. He was inviting his mom over for Thanksgiving. It's like the hypocrisy, the sheer hypocrisy of many of these individuals. And so it just goes to show you, we're going to listen to this video and then we're going to do a little soul searching, as they say.
2 weeks from tonight, on May 26th, we will announce a winner of a separate drawing for adults who have received at least their first dose of the vaccine. This announcement will occur each Wednesday for 5 weeks, and the winner each Wednesday will receive $1 million. The pool of names for the Ohio Vax-A-Million drawing will be derived from the Ohio Secretary of State's publicly available voter registration database. Further, we will make available a web page for people to sign up for the drawings if they are not in a database that we're using. The Ohio Department of Health will be the sponsoring agency for the drawings, and the Ohio Lottery will conduct them. The money will come from existing federal coronavirus relief funds. To be eligible to win, you must be at least 18 years of age.
And so you heard it yourself. People look at, they're like, no, the red team is the good team and the blue team is the bad team. And if you have an R by your name, then you're okay. And if you got a D by your name, then you're not so great. And it really doesn't matter. It's because they're all on the same team. It's kind of like if you watch like wrestling, everybody, it's all an act, right? It's all an act. And so you are the prize. Your obedience is the prize that they're seeking, to the point where they're like, hey, let's offer them $1 million. Let's offer them $1 million and see how many people we can get to take the poke. And did you hear where he said that the money is going to come from? It's coming from the relief. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I thought this was supposed to be for people in need, for businesses and X, Y, and Z. And they're just like, no, let's just raffle this shit away. And it's like I said, the money has no worth. The money is valueless, right? The real value, the real prize is you, to the point that they'll just throw money at you. This is why I say this time and time again, that the real issue is whether you take the poke or not. Now, for many individuals, we're going to look at two scriptures here. One is 1 John 4:18, and the latter part of the scripture, it says, because fear involves punishment. And it says, the one who fears has not been perfected in love. And this is the point, is that for many individuals, for many of these individuals are completely fearful. They've seen the propaganda, and the propaganda worked, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It inspired fear for all these individuals to throw a face mask over their face, even upon their children. Even when all the science showed to the latter, they still comply. Why? Because of fear. I even see the exact same thing with my fellow colleagues, with doctors and nurses at the hospital. And some of these people are young; they're in their 20s, and they've already took it. And I'm like, but if you already took it and you're young and you're fit and you're healthy, what are you worried about? And they wear 2, some of them even wear 3 masks. Why? Because fear involves punishment. And that's what many of these individuals are afraid of. They're fearful of the punishment that is the perceived cough, right? They're fearful of getting the cough. They're fearful of getting the cough. And that's basically the point. Is that many individuals, regardless of, we've seen individuals, regardless of whether they took the poke or not, they're like, I'm not taking my mask off, never. It's just like, this is exactly the point. And this is exactly what fear does, right? And that's the purpose of the isolation, which is why in the very beginning, they were very much restricting people, isolating. They're telling you, don't hang out with your family, don't have grandma, you're going to kill grandma, you can't see her, she's in the nursing home, you don't know what the hell happened, she died, they tell you it was for whatever reason, you don't know what's going on, right? And it's all for the purpose of exercising fear. The fear. If I open up my business, are they going to come and crack down? The police are going to show up. There's going to be a knock at the door. They were, the people that got arrested on the 6th. What, is that going to happen to me? Am I going to be one of those people? It's all fear driven, fear of punishment, right? And it's exactly as the Apostle Peter said. The Apostle Peter talked in depthly when it came to fear. And he made the exclamation here at 1 Peter 5:8. He said to be sober-minded and alert, right? He says your adversary, the devil, says he prowls around, right, like a roaring lion. Seeking to devour someone. You ever see like how a lion walks? He's got that eyes. He's focused. He sees his target. And what does he do? Some of them let out a loud roar. And what happens? The young get frayed. The feeble, the old, they get left behind. And that's exactly what predators do. Predators act in a way, and they target those who are young, and they target those who are old, because the old ones don't have the strength. The young don't have the experience. And that's the point. And that's how many of these individuals, right? That's how many of these individuals act. They prey upon the fearful, they prey upon the old, and they prey upon the young and the inexperienced. And they're hoping that parents will fall for the same trap. They're hoping that the parents will become fearful. I won't be able to send my kid to school. I won't be able to go to work, because they value you. They value you, the prize. You are the prize. You have always been the prize. No one can force you to take it. No one can force you to throw away your faith and your freedom. You have to be willing to give it up. You have to be willing to offer up your freedom and to become a slave. You make the choice. They can't force you. These aren't the days where they can chain people up, right? They can't chain you up and throw you on a plantation, but they can find you here. And that's why the Apostle Paul said to be sober-minded and to remain alert, right? Because that's what when you're not sober-minded, when you're too busy, some of these individuals are too drunk on fear, or they're too busy in the stock market, they're getting money left and right, and they're not sober-minded, they're not alert, they don't see what's coming. And that's what they depend on. Because you have always been the prize. Your faith, your love, your hope, your worship is what you have to offer. Many of these individuals want that. They want you not to worship God. They want you to worship man. They want you to be fearful of man because of the punishment, right? The punishment. What might happen? I might get thrown in jail. I might get fired. I might not be able to send my kid to school, right? It's all that fear. I might get sick and I might die. And if you're a Christian, what does it matter? If you believe in the hope of a resurrection, what does it matter? If you believe that there is a God above and that there is a creator who holds sway over the entire earth, why are you so afraid? It's as John said, because you're afraid. You're full of fear. And when you're full of fear, they can get you to do anything. They can get you to give up your bodily autonomy. It doesn't matter what they inject in your body. Do you even know what the hell is in it? If they tell you what the ingredients are, you have absolutely no idea. But because people are so afraid, they rush right out there and they take it. Right? Everything will get back to normal. And then they take it and they tell you, oh, you still got to wear a face covering, you still got to social distance, you still got to do X, Y, and D. And it's like, because at the end of the day, you are the prize.
Susie, as you mentioned, the vaccine is at a pause right now while that 18-year-old is fighting for her life here. Experts say that her case is so rare, the odds are less than 1 in a million. Loma Linda University Medical Center is treating one of the 6 patients who developed a rare blood clot after receiving the Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine. Her name is Emma Berkey, who's from Las Vegas. Pastor Hayden Ratner is speaking on behalf of her family.
She's a young woman with a bright future ahead of her.
The pastor says the 18-year-old suffered a seizure around April 1st. She was flown by helicopter to Loma Linda University Medical Center in an induced coma and underwent at least 3 brain surgeries to repair blood clots. How rare is clotting?
Blood clots occur with pretty great frequency in the U.S.
Dr. Michael Hogue is the dean of Loma Linda University's School of Pharmacy. He's part of a group of scientists that's looking at the data surrounding the J&J vaccine cases to make recommendations to the CDC. Dr. Hogue is not permitted to discuss Berkey's treatment because of privacy laws, but he told us the 6 cases of clotting are among the 7 million people who've been inoculated with the Johnson & Johnson brand.
Just to kind of give some perspective of this, blood clots are one of the most common adverse findings with COVID infection. And so I know back in January, February, March, when we had so many people hospitalized with COVID, that was one of the most common things that led to death were blood clots that occurred in people with COVID infection.
And he says there hasn't been any proof the vaccine is the cause of the rare clots.
We do not have 100% certainty, and we may never have 100% certainty that the vaccine actually caused these particular clots.
A GoFundMe campaign has been set up to help with medical expenses. In the meantime, Pastor Ratner says Berkey has shown signs of improvement.
She's responding to cues from her parents and the doctors. She's breathing on her own. We've been seeing some miracles throughout this journey, but we believe there's still more to come.
And Dr. Hogue's expertise will be factored on Friday when a special panel from the CDC will meet publicly to decide whether or not the J&J vaccine will remain on hold or go back into American arms. We're live in Loma Linda. Jeff Nguyen, KCAL 9 News.
Thank you, Jeff.